Hey friends, welcome back to Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge. I am Nate, and today is going to be day 18 of the Whiskey Advent Calendar. Coming in close, we got 18 plus 7 is 25, so we're almost here at Christmas. Today is going to be a Scotch. This is actually a blended Scotch. I'm going to be honest with you, I have a touch of a gripe with this one. This is going to be Monkey Shoulder. This is a blended malt Scotch. This actually comes from Speyside. I actually own a bottle of this. The color's a little touch different, but actually do own a bottle of this. I actually really like Monkey Shoulder. Now the difference is that this bottle is 43% and this bottle is 40%. What I don't like and what my gripe is going to be is that this actually says right on it, it said 100% malt whiskey made for mixing. That annoys me. Now don't get me wrong, you can absolutely use your whiskey for mixing, and actually if you were going to get into one, you're like, hey, I want a Scotch that I can do neat as well as use for mixers, don't want it to cost too much, don't want it to, no peat or anything, I would actually recommend Monkey Shoulder. This is a great entry level for neat sipping, and then it's probably a good bottle to have for mixing and things like that. The term Monkey Shoulder is a bit unique. It actually comes from when they're malting barley. There's actually a process. They actually have to turn the barley over and over and over, and the people doing that develop what's called monkey shoulder. Now, throughout the years and with technology, that condition no longer exists. Luckily, they've been able to create practices that avoid that injury now, but it does create a cool story, and it does create a good name for a whiskey. But where it comes in with mixing, so I know Glenmorangie came out with a bottle that, this is for mixing. I'm a little frustrated with creating whiskey that is labeled specifically for mixing. Do whatever you want with your whiskey, and I absolutely applaud you for whatever you do. I love whiskey. I like drinking it neat. If you like whiskey but like it in cocktails, that's fine. More power to you. And even if you come over to my place and you want a mixed cocktail, I will absolutely make you one. No problem at all. I just don't like when something's branded for something. I would actually also have a problem with if they branded it, this is for neat drinking, because it's going to turn a lot of people off. Now mixing, saying that specifically for mixing would turn less people off than if it said this is only for neat, but it's still, is a little frustrating. So I'm wondering, with this being 40%, if this is like a UK release or something, because again, it's 43% here, and if you remember, I did Lefroy 10, I think, on day 3, and that was also 40%, which I advised that at the time I knew that was the UK release, and that here in the US we get it at 43. Now today, going to be another day where I'm going to showcase one of the coins. Now I'm going to showcase one that you can actually buy. This is another Bourbon Junkies coin. I'm using a podcast glass, so that might start a fire in the glass, but so we got, this is like the standard tried and true Bourbon Junkies coin. You can actually go and find this, so I'll hopefully show a little bit more of it. Hopefully the camera picks it up. So you kind of got a glass with whiskey coming out of it. Underneath it says the proof is in the pour. This is Bourbon Junkies, and then on the back it has Knox the whiskey dog. Knox is Sean's dog. I believe he's a shepherd. I don't know for sure. I believe he is. He doesn't come on the stream because they do the streams at Dan's house. So you see a lot of Cookie, which is Dan's cat. Once in a while, you'll see Timothy, the massive Flemish giant rabbit, who is really cool. But this is Knox, Sean's dog. These are typically always available. If you go to bourbonjunk.com on their store, I have 2 or 3 of these. A couple of them I bought, and a couple of them I received as Patreon rewards. So that's another really cool thing about Patreon, is that depending on who it is, you may receive things from them throughout the year. But again, Monkey Shoulder, this is blended. So this is what's really cool. So this is not a single malt. So when it comes to Scotch, single simply means the fact that it comes from one distillery. Single malt is not a one-handed term. It actually means 2 distinct things. So single malt means one distillery, all barley. Blended malt means it comes from multiple distilleries. So this is a blend. This is a blend of straight malt whiskeys, making it a blended malt whiskey. And this does come from Speyside. If you remember, I've talked about regions quite a bit in in the last couple of videos. Speyside is part of the big Highland region, but it's a subset. It is an official whiskey region, and it actually, the big bottle of Monkey Shoulder actually is pretty open about the fact that it is from Speyside. So that's pretty cool. Typical classy maltiness, perfumey a little bit. A little fruity, citrusy. I really like Monkey Shoulder, and I would always recommend Monkey Shoulder to a beginner. And then if I'm having a conversation with somebody for the first time about whiskey or specifically Scotch, I would ask them if they've had Monkey Shoulder. I had a conversation with a lady at my cigar lounge the other day. She was from out of town. We were all sitting there watching football, and we were talking about whiskey, and she had said, "Hey, you ever tried Monkey Shoulder?" I said, "Yeah, I own a bottle. I love it. It's great." And we had a conversation about it. I'm getting appley now, maybe pear. Let's give this a shot. Definitely the maltiness. It's been a while since I've had the 43%, to be honest with you. So this isn't hitting high. Again, there's only a 3% difference between this and the bottle that I have. So there probably isn't a significant difference as far as, where the alcohol hit's going to be. This is really good. I love Monkey Shoulder. It's such a good... Now, I do know they make a smoked one, too. Well, like it's peated. Haven't seen that in my area. But as far as price point, this is a $40 bottle. It's $40 all day in my area, and I'll pay $40. Actually, it might be cheaper than that. Might be $25 for $7.50, and it might be $40 for the one. It's either a liter or $1.75. My local has it as both the $7.50 and the $1.75, and I can't remember which price is which. But it's an inexpensive bottle, but really good. Now, I know I've done a video of the only 5 Islay whiskeys you need. If I were to do like Scotch as a whole, which is impossible to do because of how different it's allowed to be, I honestly might make Monkey Shoulder my mixer. So, but I also might make it my daily sipper if I were going, but I would have to take Islay out of the equation. But there's so much with Scotch that's so different. That's why you can't do Scotch as a whole, whereas bourbon you can. You gotta do Scotch with each region just because of how different it is. But Scotch would, and if I were to do a top 10 top 10 whiskeys, it might come in maybe towards like 9 or 10. It'd definitely be in my top 5 for beginners, but it's really good. Definitely recommend. It's a really cool bottle. They got some monkeys on the bottle. It's really, yeah, give this a try. Again, day 18 of the Whiskey Advent Calendar. This one went a little longer than I thought it was going to, and sorry for my little bit of a rant in there. Hope you're enjoying these videos. Day 18, I got 6 more videos to go because I'm doing this through December 24th, and then December 25th I do have a Christmas video coming up that I have already shot and I'm excited about. And so here's to you, here's to me, but mostly here's to me. Cheers.